guys, I'm Layla. Today we're in Rage Shadow Legends. We're going to check out the lore story for the Community Week champion, the free login legendary champion for 2025. And I guess it's Iudex Artor. I actually thought his name was Iudex Artor until I realized this is not capitalized, so I guess it's an I? Iudex Artor? Anyway, legendary Sacred Order support champ. He does look pretty cool. I think they did a nice job with him. He almost reminds me of like a man in the Iron Mask kind of thing. You know, so we got like the really cool glowy eyes here. And I'm curious what's up with this. Like these are flaming. These I'm assuming are gonna hurt when he hits you with them. But I think they did a nice job with his design. I notice he's got like he's got lions on his pauldrons here, right? Really cool. Very, very nice design. I'm curious about him. I haven't checked out his lore story at all, so we're going to read it together. Here we go. The last Lightbringer to leave the Sacred Order was Iudex Artor. He would argue, however, that the Sacred Order left him. Before the Lightbringers departed the Order, Artor was respected by its members for his impartiality and wisdom in all things, and all came to him to settle disputes or mete out justice. His position required difficult decisions and sacrifice to ensure the Order's sense of right and wrong was adhered to, and thus he was never loved by his comrades and fellows. In this way, he showed the kind of rigidity inherent to the Lightbringer's being, to a greater extent than perhaps any other of his kind. This rigidity was the initial driver of the Lightbringers' division from the Sacred Order. At first, during the Second Great War, the Lightbringers were commanders, inspiring beings of light devoted to Lumea, and awesome in aspect and heartening all mortals they led. Creatures of order, an essence that insisted upon regularity and symmetry in all things, their tactics and strategies proved to be too predictable, and in the heat of battle, Lightbringers were often slow to react to changing circumstances. Over time, mortal officers grew angry. The forces of light suffered avoidable defeats or failed to prosecute sudden advantages to secure great victories due to Lightbringers' inflexibility. They came to Iudex Artor, and for hours he listened in silence, hear account after account. Then he heard the accounts of the Lightbringers. For hours after, once all had said their piece, he deliberated. His conclusion: almost all Lightbringers should hand over command responsibilities to mortal officers. He made his case to his own kind, who almost all agreed with him. Artor believed he had done what was best for the Order. He had soothed anger in the fold and at the same time strengthened its military. Arguably, his efforts helped win the entire Second Great War. But it separated the Lightbringers from mortals, and the latter were flexible in thought and deed, an asset in war, but a potential liability. And so, it proved to be years later, when a complex chain of events resulted in the Red Crusade, a furious purge of the Skinwalker, Ogre, and Orc, and Lizardman populations of Anhalt. The Lightbringers left the Sacred Order in sadness and disgust. Some entered shards, others departed for distant lands. Iudex Artor stayed, determined to turn things around, but he failed. He tried to bring the worst killers to trial, only to be denied time and time again. Some even pointed the finger at him, calling him a traitor for attempting to besmirch the good names of valiant warriors. Artor's a passive mask, for years, a symbol of cold adherence to righteousness, hid the Lightbringer's tears as he left the Eternal Citadel for good. To this day, Artor believes the Order can be turned away from the fanatical, corrupt, and almost bloodthirsty organizations it has become, and he upholds what he considers to be its original values, to be a sworn enemy of Seroth, a protector of ordinary people. He remains every inch and fiber the same foreboding figure. His voice is grave and stern, booming and sonorous, not necessarily loud, but resounding with natural authority that pierces background noise like a stiletto blade. Artor also retains the artifacts of his office as Iudex. His mask is not just a representation of truth and justice, but an arcane device that enables him to see and interpret any indication of dishonesty in those around him, whether it be pulse, breathing rate, sweating, or eye movement. Artor's primary weapon is a sensor flail named Righteous Judgment, at once a weapon with which the Lightbringer can smash aside shields or shatter helmets, but much more. Within the censers, Artor burns enchanted herbs and incense, the smoke from which motivates individuals around him in whichever way is more effective. Some inhale the smell of home in the summer, which they must protect. For others, the scent brings to mind the squalid Gael cell they may be imprisoned within should they refuse to fight. With whispered incantations, Artor can enhance the effects of the smoke, driving wounded warriors to battle on regardless of their injuries, or drive those fit to charge the foe with hearts full of courage and muscles, feeling stronger and fresher than ever. With the correct herbs and spices burning, Artor can even extract his interlocutor's deepest secrets without threat or gift. Artor now resides in Wixwell's vault, guarding original Sacred Order texts and artifacts. He leaves often to recover more relics or to thwart the forces of darkness should they come too close. He works hand in hand with Chronicler Adeline, for her missions take her far and wide where she might learn of new threats or antiquities of importance to him. Okay, so we know he's a Lightbringer, which means he's like Arbiter, he's like Cardiel, he's like those guys, right? He's a Lightbringer, and that kind of explains his look. But it's interesting that they touch upon the mask and they touch upon the weapon and why it burns the way that it does. I also did notice they also they made his story kind of tie in with Wixwell, who, if you guys remember last year, Wixwell was the community champ, I believe, right? And even Chronicler Adeline, she was also free too. So I think that's interesting how they kind of tied that in. But I'd love to know what you guys think for the story for Artor. Did you guys enjoy it? Is it something that you thought it would be? And are you looking forward to getting him as a free champ in the game for community weeks? Make sure you guys drop me a comment down below, and thanks for watching.